Hello everyone, welcome to Code Crafters Lab. So today we are going to see the next problem, that is move zeros to end. So we are given with an array nums, and we have to move all the zeros to the end of the array, and the relative order of the other elements must remain the same. So there might be the case where array should have some zeros, or they might not have any zeros, but the relative orders of the like the non-zero element should remain the same, and we have to move only zeros at the end. So you can see in this particular example, input nums equal to 0 1 4 0 5 2, and the output is 1 4 5 2, because 1 is the first occurring non-zero character, then 4 is the second occurring, then the 5 is the third occurring, and second at the fourth position, and then there are two zeros. So at the end you can see two zeros, right? So this is simple problem, and there is one more condition: this must be done in place without making a copy of the array. So first we'll try to see the brute force approach, where we'll have one temporary array, and where we'll move all the non-zero elements into the temporary array, and then we'll see with the optimal approach in the next video. So let's try with the brute force approach. Okay, so what we'll do is, like, there is one nums array. Okay, nums equal to, let's say, take 1 0 4 0 5 and 2. Okay, and output should be something like this: 1 4 5 2 and two zeros at the end. This is our expected output. So how we'll do? So let's take one element where we'll take the size of the nums. So int n equal to nums dot length. So this is how you get the length of the array, right? Nums dot length. Now we'll take one temporary array, int temp equal to new int of n size, right? So same size we have taken because it will not exceed that, right? While moving the like the non-zero element, because non-zero elements can be, like, all elements can be non-zero, so it will have the same length in the temp, or it might be less than that. So there not be any situation where it will exceed, right? The temp array should be same size as of nums. Okay, this is done. Then we'll take one more element or variable, count equal to 0. Okay, now first thing what we'll do is, like, we'll run one for loop for I equal to 0, I is less than n, means num size and I plus plus. So what we'll do here we'll do if nums of I. So we'll check every nums element whether it is non-zero. If it is non-zero, then what we'll do, we'll move it to the temp of count plus plus equal to nums of I, So we have transferred the non-zero elements into the temp array. So temp array will look like something this: 1 1 4 5 2. Okay, and nums will exist as it is. Okay, so this is done. So we have taken out all the non-zero elements in the order from the nums array to the temp array. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll do one thing is, like, we'll put these non-zero elements into the nums, back to the nums, right? Int I equal to 0, I is less than count, I plus plus. Count is nothing but size of temp, right? You can take as temp dot length also. Okay, so now putting back is like nums of I equal to temp of I, simple, right? Nums of I equal to temp of I. So now what we'll do is, like, temp will remain as it is, we'll do nums will look like some this. Okay, 1 4 5 2, because we have directly put everything from temp into the num, so everything will come here, and then last two positions are nothing but 5 and 2 in nums, existing nums. So it will look like something like this. Okay, nums will look like this. Now the main thing is, like, we have to put two zeros. Okay, so how you'll know two zeros? It is simple, right? What we have to do is, like, for I equal to count, right? Count is nothing but length of the temp array. So after that we have to put zeros, right? Till how many places? So it is nothing but I is less than n. So after this, that means after the third index till till fifth index, right? So fifth index is nothing but the length of nums, right? So we'll do I is less than n and I plus plus. So what we'll do is like nums of I equal to 0, simple, right? It will end here. So nums will look something like this. So 1 4 5 2, and count means it will start from here and it will start putting 2 zeros and it will end, and it is exactly looking like our output 14520, right? And what is the time complexity for this? So what is the time complexity? So we know, right, it is of 2 into n, because like we have uh, copied all the non-zero elements from the original array to the temporary array, and at max it can be all elements, so it is O of n. Then O of x for again copying those elements back to the original array, that is nums, and then again we have to do we have to place all the zeros at the end, so it is nothing but O of n minus x. So n is nothing but the number of elements and x is nothing but the zeros. Non-zero elements is n and x is nothing but the zeros, right? And space complexity, it can be O of n, because we are using the temp array. So temp array size at max is the O of n. So that's why space complexity is O of n. So let's try to solve this on the code editor. Okay, so what we'll do first is like we have taken, let's say, int n equal to nums dot length. Okay, so then we'll have one temporary array int temp equal to new int of n, right? Then int count count equal to 0. Then we'll do first for loop. First for loop is nothing but copy all non-zero elements into the temporary array. I is less than n and I plus plus, and after that what we'll do is like temp of count plus plus equal to nums of I. But we have to add one condition, is like if nums of I is not equal to 0, then we'll copy, right? This is done. So this is the first for loop. Then what we'll do is like copy back those elements, non-zero elements, into the nums. So int I equal to 0, I is less than count, right? And I plus plus, and simply what we'll do is like nums of I equal to temp of I. Okay, now we have to put zeros back. So for int I equal to count, we'll start with count and till n is like original array length and I plus plus, and simply what you have to do is like nums of I equal to 0, right? Let's try it. Okay, I missed not equal to 0. Yeah, semicolon is missing. Yeah, this is accepted and it is working as expected. So basically we have done with our brute force approach. Now we'll move back to the optimal approach in the next video. Thank you for watching.